this video, we are going to teach you how you can push your code from the local repository to the GitHub. In order for me to do that, we need to do some precondition steps. Step number one, what I created a simple test project or inside our IntelliJ IDE. I name it GitHub upload, and I added just very simple code, just the printout statement that says hello world. So please make sure you complete this code before going forward. As a step number two, what I did, I navigated through my terminal to the directory of my project, right? So currently I am inside my project, and to double check, I'm going to type pwd. So now this command tells me that currently I am located inside home, inside my IDEA projects, I'm inside batch 15, and I am inside my GitHub upload project. For you, the path will be different, but just make sure you are there in the correct directory. Now we're going to follow a steps of how to add your code to the local repository, and you all should be aware of those steps. As a first initial step, we're going to type the command git init to initialize our repository. After we initialize our repository, we're going to run the command git add. So now our code in the staging area, and now I'm going to commit my code. And I'm going to type test code, right? And I'm going to hit enter. So the moment I hit enter, I know currently my code is saved into my local repository. So the next steps, what we have to make sure that now the code that I have written in here and that is saved on my local repository, I have to make sure that I can access it through my GitHub repository, which we also call a remote repository. In order for us to do it, there's a few steps we have to follow. Step number one, what we have to do, we have to make sure we create an access token. This access token will allow us to continuously push our code from local to GitHub. So in order for me to do it, go ahead and click on your profile, go ahead and navigate to settings. Once you're in your settings, go ahead and scroll down. You will see the option developer settings. Click on it. Once we are in developer settings, go ahead and click on personal access tokens. Click on tokens classic. From here, make sure you click on option generate new token. Currently also, guys, my page will look different because I created multiple tokens before. For you, this page will look empty, and you're going to create your very first token. So go ahead and click on button generate new token. Select the classic option. From here, we're going to add the node. Basically, we would like to give a name of our access token. I'll just name it a cell token. Make sure you change the expiration. We don't want our token to be expired. Make sure you click on no expiration. So this way we can continuously push our code through the entire time of the course. For the scope, please make sure you select all the options. Once all the options are selected, please make sure go ahead and click on generate token. So now this is a very important step into generating a token. So what we have to make sure, we copy this token and we save it in some file that should be accessible to you. So this token is very, very important to save because it will be displayed only one time while you're creating it. Next time you're going to try to go back to GitHub, you won't be able to see it. So that's why it's very important step to copy it. Now I'm going to take it to my editor, and you guys can use any file, Word file, Notepad file, any files that you find it very easy to use. I'm going to enter GitHub token, and I'm going to paste my token. Oops. Oh, paste it, copy, paste right here. My token is here, so please make sure, guys, you save your file. Okay, I'll save it, somewhere where it's easy accessible to me. I'll save it on the desktop. Save. So once your token is ready, so now we're going to go back into our GitHub. Now we have to navigate to our repositories. In here, we have to create our remote repository that will be, later we will be connecting to our remote. In order for me to create remote repository, go ahead and click on button new. Once you click on new, let's give a name for our repository. I'll give the same name as my project, even though the name can be different, but I'll name it the same. I'll name it GitHub Upload. Okay. If your name is unique enough, you will be given a green checkbox. In here, you don't have to change any settings. We will let our repository be public. Click on Create Repository. So after we click on Create Repository, we can given a nice instructions on how to proceed with the steps. So anytime you connect in a new repository, new local repository to the new remote repository, we always must follow the steps. And as of now, guys, we already completed the steps. We already initialize repository, and we already commit our code to the local repository. So now what do we have to make sure? We just follow the next 3 steps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy each step one by one, and I'm going to take them to my terminal, and I'm going to paste them here, hit enter. Next step, I have to make sure that I connect my local repository to this particular remote repository. We'll copy this. I paste this command. So I'm telling Git, connect this to my remote repository. I hit enter. And every time you hit enter, if there's no errors coming, it means your commands are executed successfully. Next command and the last command I'm going to copy. And I'm going to enter it here. So now we want to go ahead and hit enter. For the first time, when you push a new code from the local repository to the remote repository, your terminal is going to ask us for the username. So username we have to enter is from our GitHub. If you don't know your username, go back to your GitHub, click on your profile, right? Click on your profile, or also you can see your username is displayed in here. Mine is Syntax Technologies, and yours of course will be different. So I'm going to click on your profile. So here, this is the name, this is my username. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy it. Once I copy my username, I'm going to paste it here. So after entering a username, we'll have to enter a password. So, and for the security purposes, anytime we have to enter the password or we have to copy and paste the password, it won't be visible in this line. So now for the password, what do we have to enter? We have to enter the token that we generated and saved earlier. So I'm going to go back to my file. I'm going to copy my token. Going to copy it. I'm going to go to my terminal and I'm going to go ahead and paste it. So once again, you won't be able to see the password that you typed or the password that you pasted because it's for the security purposes, it's not showing. But it is being pasted, so now what do we have to do? Just go ahead and click enter. Once you click enter, if the access token that you copied and provided is correct, if your username was correct, so what's going to happen? Your code will be successfully pushed to the remote repository. So here we're going to see my code have been pushed to the GitHub Syntax Technologies. This is the location of my GitHub repository. To check, I'm going to go back to my remote repository. I'm going to click on repositories. And if you guys see the message, it says uploaded now. I'm going to go ahead and click on the project. So here I'm seeing the message that I passed in my commit. And if I'm going inside my source folder, here, this is my code. And it's exactly the same code that I typed in my IntelliJ. So now we successfully moved our code from the local repository to the remote repository. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.